I think we are live now. Yes. Hello. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Thanks again for this opportunity. Okay, we are in the second remote jobs fair for Outsystems. So starting right now, we have Melissa, and we have Pedro Cardoso and Ricardo Neto. So I think you can start right now, Melissa. The stage is yours. Hope you're having fun and everything you need. You can always ask a question in the right. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Great. Thank you for the intro and welcome everyone to this talk about Outsystems and our world and how Outsystems is working remotely. And in this presentation, you will have three people speaking. So you will have me, I am Melissa, and I work on the talent acquisition team, so on the side of the recruitment. And you have Ricardo Neto. He is an engineering manager on the engineering department, so he is working on building our products. And you will have Pedro Cardoso. He is a director for delivery engineering, and he works on the digital team. The digital team is the part of Outsystems that handles all of the internal development. But Pedro and Ricardo will tell you a bit more about themselves and what they do in their areas. Me, I work as a talent acquisition specialist. I've been at Outsystems for 5 years, and what I do has a lot to do with recruitment, but also I work with some events like this one, and I will be telling you a bit more about Outsystems in terms of our history, where we started, what it's like to work at Outsystems, and our culture, and hope you enjoy it. So this will be a story about what it's like to be a software engineer at Outsystems. But first we will tell you about where we started. And Outsystems started back in 2001. We are turning 20 this year. And like many companies, we started in a garage. Our founders were coming from Instituto Superior Técnico, which is one of the main engineering colleges here in Portugal. And when they started the company, they had this massive vision of enabling every company to develop software in a way that was faster and more agile. So they came up with something that we call the Outsystems platform, and this became the very first low-code platform to exist in the world. And low-code is something that works a bit different from traditional development. So it's kind of a visual development language. It works with workflows, with drag and drop, and it enables users to develop applications without having to do so much manual coding. So that was the vision from the beginning, that we wanted to empower companies to be able to develop their software in a way that was a lot easier, a lot more visual, so a lot faster, a lot more agile. And the idea was very much ahead of the time. So in the beginning and for a long time, we were a startup working in a small garage until the low-code market really kicked off. And so today we are in a very different position where we are market leaders, and low-code is a huge market with lots of opportunities and lots of opportunities for us to sell and to grow. So fast forward to 2021, where are we today? We are a team of over 1,400 people working from 15 different countries and growing. We started in Portugal, but nowadays we have people working in the United States. We have people working in Germany, in the UK, in Italy, in Dubai, in Singapore, in Australia. So we are all over the globe. And from these people, over 400 are working on the engineering team. So we have more than 400 people completely dedicated to building our products and making sure that our Outsystems platform stays ahead of the market and stays very competitive and interesting for our customers. Some of our customers We have customers in banking, in tourism, in healthcare, in the sports industry. I don't know if anyone from Portugal is here, but Benfica is one of our customers, and they are the best soccer club in Portugal, which is great. Just joking with you. Utilities, so we have lots more customers than the ones that you see here, which is really, really good. And our culture. We've always had a very close culture, but we had to adjust it to become remote with the pandemic. And we went from being working in the office, having lunch together, doing activities outside of work together. This video that you see here was actually at one of the engineering team gatherings. The photo from above is from the cafeteria that we had in the Lisbon office. So we were working together physically in the office, seeing each other every day, and then the pandemic happened. And we had the challenge and the opportunity of becoming a remote company. And what this means is that we had the opportunity to start expanding, because we realized that you don't need to work from the office, you can work from anywhere. And so we started expanding our teams. And so engineering was a team that was very focused on hiring in Portugal. And nowadays we have people working for engineering in Portugal, in Spain, in the UK, in the United States, in India, in Brazil, in Singapore, and the number of countries that we are hiring in keeps growing. And from meeting your colleagues face to face in the office, we went from remote meetings, which can also be fun, and managing all of our work remotely, which can also be fun. And we also started focusing more on sharing our work online, sharing what we do with the world. And you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Medium. We have videos that tell you what it's like to work at Outsystems, what it's like to build the Outsystems platform. You have posts on Medium that tell you more about the people that work here, their paths, their challenges, what it's like to work for specific teams, and lots of other cool stuff on our Facebook and Instagram and our social channels. You can check those and follow us and see for yourself. Go big or go home. We had to make big adjustments during the pandemic, not only to the fact that we had to become a remote working company, but also we decided to make a couple important changes in our products and in the company during the pandemic. We decided to refactor and migrate the whole product on the server side, while other teams continue to work on their daily tasks. We moved the entire product from SVN to Git to help make the development process more agile. We got a new CTO, I think it was last year, and so some of our processes had to change, some teams were reorganized, and this really allowed us to improve the product and the company. But of course, these were big changes that had to be managed remotely. User experience became the core of our development process, providing a solid foundation for product development. And we are growing a lot and receiving people from new countries. We now have people working with us from Argentina, for example, from Spain, from Germany, from the Netherlands. It's becoming a lot more diverse. But without forgetting our culture. And what you see here is something that we call the small book of the few big rules. This is a small book that you can get in print, but you can also find online. It was written by our CEO, Paulo Rosado. He actually wrote this many years ago. That's why you see an old Outsystems logo there on the cover. This is an older version. And this small book has our core rules and our values. And they are asking why, being able to question what you are doing. And this means if you see something you disagree with or you don't fully understand, you're going to ask why and you're going to ask questions. This is the small crisis, and the small crisis means that you handle problems while they are still small so that they don't grow. Challenge the status quo. This is about questioning and challenging the way that things are traditionally done. We don't want people doing things just because it's always been done like that and that's how we always do it. We always invite people to try new things because that's really what brings innovation. Sometimes you try something new that doesn't work, but it's fine. Sometimes you try something new that works and it becomes huge value for the product and for the customers, and that's awesome. Being helpful, help your colleagues, be there for others when they need you. The 80-20 rule, this is the Pareto rule, focus on the smallest part of the work that will deliver the biggest impact. Communicate to be understood, how to communicate with others, and meet them where they are. This is about working with different people and adjusting your communication to them. So the work that we do is often very technical, but you may be talking with someone who is not as technical, and they need to understand what you say. And this is valid when you are working with partners and customers, but also when you are working with your colleagues. And excel. Do the best in everything that you are doing and try the best in everything you do. And these are our values and the rules that we still live by, and that help ensure that we keep a healthy culture and that we keep a good work environment for everyone. So that's it about Outsystems in terms of history, in terms of culture. Now I want to invite Ricardo to talk a bit, and he
Hi.
will tell you a bit more about himself.
Hey guys. So, introducing myself, I'm Ricardo Neto. I've joined Outsystems for I don't know, around 10 years ago. It's such a big company from then to now. I've joined as a software quality engineer, started working mostly on tests, ensuring that the product had the proper quality, then moved into the maintenance area, working on releasing fixes to our product, new product versions. Then started leading a team devoted to abstracting the underlying stacks from the product, and then moving to leading another team, a team focused on the runtime of the applications generated by the Outsystems platform. And now I'm working as an engineering manager on the server teams, the teams that are responsible for the process of translating a visual application created in Outsystems to code that is generated, built and compiled, deployed into an application server or into a container. A big difference in Outsystems in the number of people. For instance, when I joined, we were around, 20 to 25 people on the R&D department. Right now, I'm not sure of the number already, but probably more than 500. Lots of people joining, as Melissa said, from different countries. I can tell you, for instance, one of my teams has 4 different time zones, and we are more and more improving our processes to ensure we have a synchronous communication, that people feel welcomed, and that they can be a part of a team and not work isolatedly, independently of being in somewhere around the world. In terms of product, the product as well, it evolved. The product started with a vision of a thing that it didn't exist at the time, which was the cloud. So we started a bit ahead of time. Right now, the cloud is the present. Most of the companies are using it, and yeah, the product is evolving to more and more be a reference on that kind of products to help improve productivity of companies. We already did a presentation on Outsystems a couple of months ago on Landing.Jobs on this same forum, and some people joined the company after this presentation. Actually, our first software engineer in Argentina joined from hearing this talk on Landing.Jobs a couple of months ago. Yeah, so this is it, a presentation of me and what I've been witnessing for the last couple of years. So in terms of the product itself, we have a low-code platform. Our low-code platform, the value that it brings, it's the agility that it helps companies achieve when developing software and developing applications when compared to traditional software development technologies. That agility translates into changing applications easier and easier as time goes by, and the speed at which those changes occur is much more faster than using a traditional software development language. In terms of costs, considering how much we reduce the time to develop an application and how the focus on the business value of the application is when developing it, we decrease the costs of our customers doing it so, and the time to market. So in terms of the product, let's call it the Outsystems platform. This is from an high-level perspective what we built. We have a platform that helps the global 2000 companies, top public companies of the world, develop their applications. There's lots of big names in our customers that use the Outsystems platform to create applications that are used by millions of users. We can look at it at this three-layer approach. Very high level, we have the IDEs, the low-code tools where you develop the application, where you manage the application. They work closely with the platform services, the services that help you develop an application with AI algorithms, for instance, help you perform changes across a big application by proposing different points where you can do things more easier. Build your mobile and native application, deal with your identity, generate the application. So these applications are then created and generated and executed in the cloud native runtime, and that is the runtime of the application that what the users use. So this is an high-level perspective of what the Outsystems platform is. We will take a peek under the hood, and I will start by introducing to you the main components of the Outsystems platform. These are the IDE to really use the visual language and allows you to create the applications, which is the Service Studio. And we have the Integration Studio in IDE that allows you to integrate existing code bases. For instance, when a customer adopts the Outsystems platform, the customer already has all sorts of libraries that are used to fulfill certain use cases. Those libraries are built using what we call high code, like C# or something like that. And we have the Integration Studio that allows customers to integrate that code into the Outsystems applications. Then we have the platform server, the core of the Outsystems platform, and the management consoles. If you look at this division, when we look at the creation of the Outsystems product, the Outsystems platform, the R&D is much like this. It's kind of divided into different areas of the product. So we have different teams, each team belonging to simply calling it these big groups, like some teams working on the platform server area, other teams working on the IDEs, others working on the consoles, AI, etc. This architecture of the product kind of is mapped by the structure that we have inside the Outsystems R&D to develop the product. So looking into the platform server, the core of the Outsystems platform. As I told you before, this is the set of services that allow the creation of or the generation of an Outsystems application. So you have the visual language, and these are the services that pick up on those visual language and understand the model that is there. And based on that model, they generate C# code that is then glued to libraries and frameworks and etc. And then is built and compiled. After that, you can pick that code and deploy it on a container, for instance, or on an application server. And yeah, the code is then used as an application by users. The code that is generated allows you to, for instance, be abstracted by things such as logging or tracing, because there's really a big focus on ensuring developers really take care of the business case that they are targeting, instead of having to deal with things that kind of boilerplate things in terms of developing applications, such as tracing and logging. So these services, when generating code, they had all those things to ensure that no concern is put into it from the developer's point of view. In terms of application servers, as I told you, it's also a set of services that deploy the applications to a set of well-known application servers. And in terms of how you build an application, for instance, the integration with Google Docs API or integration with Slack and so on, the platform services are the place where you can combine all those kind of integrations into your code, linking it and making it available on the application. It's not the place where you set up that integration, but it's where all things are linked and then they are deployed, making them a part of the application. So this is the platform server, kind of the art of the Outsystems platform. Lots of challenges here. This is a area of the product that is evolving as much as others. So lots of challenges on this area. In terms of Service Studio, oh, sorry, Melissa. In terms of Service Studio, well, Service Studio is the IDE. As you see it in traditional languages, probably you are used to using Rider, IntelliJ, or Visual Studio. So Service Studio is our IDE. It's where you find the visual language that Outsystems exposes and allows building these applications that, as you see in this animation, these are applications that, in terms of experience, have a very good experience, and in terms of speed, the time you take to build an application like this, it's unbelievable. You get used to it, and you probably you'll never think of using traditional software languages. So Service Studio is the IDE where you can develop the main parts of an application. You can define the processes for the applications, like having scheduled jobs or having workflows or processes and so on. You can find the interface of the application, kind of building your front ends, composing your front ends, creating blocks that are usable, for instance, across all other applications. In terms of application logic, you can define either the logic that runs on a device, client-side logic, or logic that runs on the server side. It's also here where you can define integrations. You can expose your endpoints in your microservice, for instance, or you can consume REST APIs from other microservices around the web. And in terms of data, it's also in the Service Studio, the place where you define the model of your application. What are the entities that are a part of your application, modeling them, making them available to other modules in your application. So this is the place where you create the application. It's our tool for doing it. So Other IDE place where you can also add functionality to your application is the Integration Studio, the tool that I've mentioned to you before. It's a very important use case to allow customers to really reuse some of the things that they already have in house. It's really important to see customers adopting the technology, the Outsystems platform. It's really important as well to allow customers to have some kind of a leverage in terms of using the things that they have in house. So Integration Studio is a tool that allows you to do just that. Imagine that you have that C# library or Java code that integrates with that system, that old system that nobody wants to touch in house. So you can pick that library, you can fit it in Integration Studio, and then it creates behavior server actions, let's go like this, that can then be consumed inside Service Studio in a low code manner. So our visual language then handles the call to those libraries, and it all goes together when they are deployed. Also, a very important aspect of things that customers have in house usually are data stores. So Integration Studio is also the place where you can integrate data from your systems into an Outsystems application. Then you have the consoles, Service Center, the console that allows you to look at the platform server, looking at logs, monitoring, managing source control, for instance, creating users, setting permissions. It's kind of a management console around the server. And then you have Lifetime. Lifetime is the tool that allows you to manage application lifecycle. If you can move to next slide, Melissa, you can probably see these swim lanes, which translate into applications, and then these columns, which translate into environments. So you create an application in development environment, you have a team developing that application, and then you have a DevOps team moving that application from development to quality and then into production. So this is all managed by a tool which we call Lifetime. This is also a tool that allows you to integrate other systems that you have in-house to manage the lifecycle of applications by exposing APIs. So it's one of the biggest changes that we are doing. It's ensuring that we have APIs so that these tools that you see, such as Service Center or Lifetime, these tools that expose core behaviors of a product, they use APIs, and these tools can be built in a custom fashion by our customers to ensure that the use cases are properly covered. So in an overview of the product, what we have is a full stack product where you develop all the components of your application, most of them on our IDE. You can then integrate with existing code bases or existing data stores that you have in-house. Also, there's a community of Outsystems developers producing open source components that are then used in your application. And there are, I'm seeing a number here, more than 2,500 components, open source components that you can use the Lifetime, managing all the full life cycle of the application. And then in terms of experiences, we generate applications that can reach different touch points and perform as well as a traditional application, if not better. So this is it, an introduction to the Outsystems product with some level of detail. And then I will probably pass along to Pedro Cardoso. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. Always a pleasure to hear you.
Sorry, Pedro,
do you mind if I share?
Please share your screen. Let me stop sharing. Come on.
Give me just one moment. There we go. I think you can see my screen, right? Yes?
Yes, we can.
Well, so first of all, about myself, and thank you very much for being in here today. My name is Pedro Cardoso. As Melissa said, I'm a director at Digital Delivery Engineering. Um, I'm working at Outsystems for 9 years now, a bit after Ricardo. Um, I was actually hired to be a tech lead in a team, a position that I actually never played, which is funny. I joined, I strictly moved for a position as an expert after a couple of months after my initial um, period of learning out systems. I then moved into a training team. I went around the globe and pitched out systems for a bunch of people. I just saw someone in the chat saying that they were from the Philippines. I spent some time there in Manila, a great country. I'd love to be there. Been in many places working, teaching customers how to use the platform. Then I moved to R&D and I worked here with Picard for a long time, 3 years, I believe. I was actually working with Lifetime that Ricardo just talked about. Was a great experience. I was the team captain at the time, then moved to an architecture position, but then decided that I wanted to work more with people, so I took a management position here at Digital, and it's been like this for the last 3 years, and it's been great. But nevertheless, what is digital? Where do we fit? Where do we do? What is it that we do? So digital is just another uh, part of this puzzle, right? Um, uh, the puzzle that is the company, the OutSystems company. As you can understand, the company it's a complex organism with many moving parts. We have people building the product that you just heard about. But to be successful, a company cannot only build a great product, right? We have to sell it, and if we want to sell it, we have to do some marketing about it, right? And fortunately enough, we've been selling it, and since we sell it, we have to do some invoices, right? We have to invoice the people that buy it, and to make all this possible, we have to hire people, right? So um, and and that's why we need departments like the ones that you are seeing here. We have people in engineering, like Ricardo, that build the product, but then we have people in marketing that market our product. We have people in sales that sell it. We have people in finance that actually invoice our customers. And this is just to name a few. That's where we sit. Our um, our mission is to remove friction from well, sorry about that. Um, as you can imagine, in any organization, all these people building, selling, and marketing our product need software, right? That software either needs to be bought or built, and if it's bought, it needs to be configured. If it's built, it needs to be developed and needs to operate in an integrated way. And that's where we came in. We Digital came in. Our purpose is to build a software that enables OutSystems to operate smoothly in a daily basis. That's why our North Star, the one thing that we aim to, is to remove friction. Um, any friction that people might feel while using the software that we either buy or build. And by people, I mean both internal and external users, meaning our colleagues like Ricardo, when he's doing his job, he has to have a laptop, he has software that he needs to work every day. And also our customers while, for instance, visiting our websites, just like you were doing while visiting our careers page. Um, it's easy to conclude that we work for many different people, or to make it simpler to understand, um, we target many different personas. So think of a persona as a fictional character that represents different users that use a product in similar ways. But let me take you some examples. Um, for instance, a prospect that is trying to understand what is Outsystems and then didn't have the luck of hearing Ricardo explaining what the product is, they will go to our website to have a high level understanding of what the product is and if it's actually a help to what they are trying to achieve. Well, Outsystems.com is it's built at digital and is the product that aims at this persona, the customer. In this case, it's more a prospect. But after buying and turning from a prospect to a customer, people continue to use software that we build at digital. For example, when installing the product and activating it, customers get their licenses to a license portal, also built at digital. This happens if they are installing the platform, obviously on their own servers, but when customers become cloud customers, meaning they are using OutSystems servers to run their platform, there's some integration with the cloud that people that R&D build and our licensing portal to fetch those licenses. So there's always, when activating a customer, there's always software built at digital in play. Also, if a customer, and it's still on the same persona, the customer, when they need support, they contact OutSystems to the support portal, another portal built, as you guessed, at digital. There's also a huge community of OutSystems developers around the globe that get together at our forums to learn from each other, to ask questions, provide help to whoever is in need, and actually to participate in our roadmap, providing ideas. We have a page where people can provide their own ideas to our product, and people like Ricardo read through them and incorporate them when it makes sense, obviously, into our product. And that interaction is also made possible through some software that actually digital builds, that our teams build here, or that my teams build, if you wish. And this is for the outside world, customers, prospects, and the community. We have another persona that our colleagues, like Ricardo and Melissa. All these processes that we talked about and more are supported by by software that digital either builds or manages. So software that's used to register a cell, to book some time off. If you're going on PTO, on vacation, you have a tool built here at Digital for everyone at the company to book time off, or even to enable our small book of the few big rules. That's also reflected in a tool that we built for our internal community, let's say. And as stated, it's our North Star to build this software to remove friction from these internal interactions and obviously to digitally enable our ways of working. So it's obviously a big company. It's, as you know, or if you don't know, let me tell you that we're growing immensely. We have a huge customer base, an even bigger community, and 1,400 people working every single day. As you can imagine, this means that we have to build a lot of software, manage a lot of packages. Um, and at Digital, we are around 150 people or so. So how can we keep up with such demand? Obviously, 90% of all we do it without systems. And if you ask why, first of all, because we believe, and because it truly helps to help us to be agile and fast. One of the biggest problems facing the business today, as you saw in the slide that Ricardo shared with Paula's words. And it's because we use the OutSystems platform to build what we need to build that we can deliver on time and obviously deliver with quality, which is actually exactly my team's mission statements. We are here to deliver high quality software on time. But talking and we so high level, let me take you through some examples. Let's say that you're starting at Outsystems next week, and you don't need to rush. We can wait a bit more for you. When you get to Outsystems, and to welcome you, we want to make sure that you have a great start, right? And so we put together this welcome kit that you see here in this photo, that not only has the obvious needs like a laptop, maybe a pen and a notebook, but a lot more that I'm not gonna tell you because I don't want to spoil your surprises. If you wonder how to put together such a welcome kit, you will probably guess that there's a lot that needs to happen to make sure that we have everything ready for you, right? So who makes it happen? How do we make it happen? Um, it's obviously all based on software. So there's a lot of tools, processes, and people that need to work to such a great result. And so, yeah, there's a lot of software that needs to be in place to support these people and obviously these processes. Um, so to make sure that that's everything ready to welcome you, so that you have your kit with all the goodies, these people and these processes are supported by a number of software packages and stuff that we build that need to be properly integrated. Some examples. First off, we use Paycor. That's a software package that we bought that the OutSystems subscribes to, and that we use to support all the interviews that happen across the globe every single day. Sorry about that. The company is growing a lot. There's always a lot of interviews happening every day, maybe dozens of them. So there needs to be, this can't be managed through email, right? So we have a package that digital runs, that helps everyone in the company that runs interviews. One tool, just in this example, to put together your welcome kit. We built a tool called Purchase Portal, obviously built with OutSystems for OutSystems, that we use to support the purchase of goods, like the laptop that you saw in the picture, the notebook. All that is bought through a portal that we call Purchase Portal, and that supports the company to buy any good that we need. And with so many people in the company, you can guess that we buy a lot of stuff, obviously. Yet another tool on this simple process that we use, and just to name a few, a tool called onboarding, a tool again that we built with OutSystems and for OutSystems, that acts as a central hub to grant and revoke access to people as they join and move around the company, integrated with a lot of tools that we use daily, and that digital builds and evolves to make sure that everyone has access to whatever they need to perform their work. Another simple example in some other way. So let's imagine that you joined the team, not at OutSystems, but in a partner that's building an application for a bank. Let's say that it's a bank. And that bank wants to build a mobile app with OutSystems. This is actually not an example that I made up. It's actually an application that the bank that I'm customer with built with OutSystems. So let's imagine, which it's not just imagination, that while unwinding the requirements, you find out that you need a map to your app. You have to have a little map in there. So would you go and build one app by yourself? It's not great to reinvent the wheel, right? So you probably want to reuse something that it's already pre-built. And so we have a tool called Forge, that you can go to and check if there's already something that you can reuse really simply, in a simple way. You would find there Google Maps. That's a component made available by OutSystems for anyone to use free of charge, and that you can customize and adapt to this bank's specific needs, right? So this application that you found where you found Google Maps, it's called Forge. It's actually a tool that digital and R&D built together, that our customers can use to search for pre-built pieces of software that they use to accelerate their time to market. And not only they can reuse code made available by Outsystems, but they can also reuse code that others built and made available on top of it, right? They can also share their solutions that they find that could be useful to others. And again, this is Forge, a software made with Outsystems to share Outsystems code to build more Outsystems code. And what's funny is that even we, while building Forge, use Forge components to build it. It's like kind of an inception thing. So this is digital, a team of people building and operating digital tools, enabling Outsystemers, both internally and externally, to build products, and especially internally, we're helping to build a product and work a business around it. And at the same time, we're enabling customers to interact with the company, to operate what they bought, and obviously all this to build at the speed of light. And that is digital. Thank you very much. Melissa, back to you. I'm not sure if
Okay.
listening.
Yes, I think that's my time.
It's
Melissa, you want to say? No problem. It's everything is okay. So Melissa, you want to say something more, or Ricardo, or we pass for the Q&A session? You choose, so no problem.
Yeah, I was listening to Pedro Cardoso and at the same time taking a chance to answer some of the questions that people already wrote. But yeah, for me, we can go to the Q&A session.
Yeah, and thanks for that, Ricardo and Pedro. So I already seen you answer some questions in the chat below. So thanks for that. I think it was a great experience today. Super interactive. So that's what we want. And I will start by the top voted questions. Okay. So in the first one, it's I think it's quite easy to answer. How we can hire people or be hired from Outsystems from Outsystems, but in a different country. I don't know who wants to answer to this question, Melissa, Pedro, or Ricardo, but feel free.
The answer was how we can hire.
Sorry, I think this.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're hearing
Melissa.
Yes, I'm having technical difficulties. I cannot show my camera again. So as we answered in the chat, this will depend a bit depending on the job. So some jobs are specific to locations, some jobs are not.
Okay, I think I can make some questions you didn't answer. So just give me a second. Just give me a second. I was okay. So how can apply for a job at Outsystems? Just send a resume through Outsystems or Landing.Jobs in this case. So who wants to answer this? This is quite easy.
Well, I guess you already answered it, right?
Yeah.
I guess you already answered it, right? How can you apply to Outsystems? Well, you look for instance, our careers page and check what are the departments that are currently hiring. I would propose engineering or digital, for instance, as one of the best departments out there. So you look at the job openings and then try to understand what is your fit. Basically, that's it. Just apply. We are usually fast on responding to people. We don't like to let people waiting. So yeah, that's the easiest way.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo. A technical question right now. What was the main reason for migrating from SVN to Git? Did you face any major challenges?
Yes, some challenges. First of all, main reason, getting us, it's in terms of product development, we were getting to a place where we were kind of feeling, how should I put it? The tools were not allowing us to do our job on the most efficient way possible. So we needed to change things around us. That's something that you will find inside Outsystems. If things are not working as we want them to, we change them. There's not a problem with that. And that change can come can come from a manager, or can come from someone that has recently joined and voiced their concerns, like, we could do this better. So the change from SVN to Git was mostly so we could be more efficient on the things that we were doing. And there's also another effect, which was we were using SVN for the technical guys in the house. Well, SVN is kind of an old source control technology, and we were onboarding lots of people, and several people, as soon as they joined the department, they had to go through a kind of a SVN for dummies, because they never used SVN. So we were feeling that people joining us were kind of forced to deal with this old technology, and it was preventing them to do their grades. So yeah, we changed it, and the motivation was efficiency mostly and product development, but it's also around keeping people growing with recent technologies and not forcing them to go through learning older technologies, because yeah, that is it.
Okay, perfect. I think this question is quite good. And this is a question for a project manager. How do you manage a situation when two members do not agree with each other? So I think this is a great question.
So we have a boxing ring. We have a boxing ring. No, but we could. No, usually people just communicate. We focus on communication and outcomes, and we try to understand how things are aligned with the outcomes that we are pursuing, and drive the conversation on that line. So if there's a situation where, after all this conversation has happened and people are still in disagreement, well, there's a big thing in our culture, which is the disagree and commit. It comes to a time where I did it, Pedro did it, for sure, Melissa as well. It comes to a time where it's not how I'm putting it, but let's go, let's do it. And yeah, we commit to do something that sometimes is not what we thought at first, but we recognize its value. We don't commit just because. We recognize its value. We recognize that it's a valid path towards an outcome, and we do it as a team.
Okay, thanks, Ricardo. Pedro, we can hear you. Don't know if you are talking.
Yes, I was, but I was muted because I have a neighbor. The perks of working from home, right? I have a neighbor doing some construction work, so there's a drill. So sorry about the noise. I was just adding to Ricardo that we also believe in data. So bringing data to your discussions is truly important. If you disagree, you should be backed up by some data. It's not just a hunch, right? It's just not because it's great. It's beautiful to do it like this or like that. We believe in data. So back yourself up with data and present the facts. We're all engineers, or actually most of all are engineers, so we love facts.
Perfect. So thanks. You already answered to this question, Pedro, in the chat, but I think this is too important to bring to the table again. We have a question here. The past in IT work experience is needed. So you share before you are from another background. We have many people come to us and say, "So, but I'm a .NET developer. I want to move to OutSystems. Is it easier? It's difficult." So, if you can disclaim this.
Sure. I can talk about it. So while we are hiring, we obviously look for people with different backgrounds, and there's people coming from all sorts of backgrounds. That we obviously, and I'll speak for my team. Probably Ricardo looks for different kind of profiles, but at Digital we use mostly, as I said, 90% of all that we do it with OutSystems. So we obviously look for people that know OutSystems. That's I would say our first target, but it's not all, because we don't get everyone from that pool of talent, if you know what I mean. We also want to participate in the community, and we want to spread the word. We want to help people to learn what we find so good to be with. So we also take people that want to change careers. I did it myself. I'm in IT for 21 years now, and I've been at OutSystems for 9 years. So I was not an OutSystems developer. I've been in PHP. I see someone in the chat talking about PHP. I worked with C Sharp. I worked with Java, Ruby on Rails. So I did a lot of things before I came before I joined OutSystems. When I joined OutSystems, this wonderful community of people here at the company helped me to grow in the technology. I learned OutSystems. I became an OutSystems developer. I became an OutSystems tech lead. I actually joined R&D to build the tools that I was used to work with. So it's always this kind of inception thing. So I would say that yes, obviously there's open positions, there's opportunities for people that already know OutSystems, that know other stacks, that are coming out of college with a degree in OutSystems, but even people that join there's even people joining the company with different backgrounds. I have a guy in my team that's an awesome developer. His background is in civil engineering. He studied civil engineering, and he went through the learning. That's what I was telling in the chat. There's learning. There's companies reskilling people to be software engineers, and OutSystems is so easy to learn that actually enables you to do that. You can either learn it by yourself or join one of these companies that help you to move to a different career. And obviously, we're more than glad to have these people. It's also part of having a diverse community here at OutSystems, right? If we hire different people with different backgrounds, we're more diverse, and that's enriching for the company, I would say.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So explanations quite perfect. So you already answered to this question, but I want to mention again because this is too important regarding the hiring processes. Okay, can you tell me more regarding the hiring process, how it works? You already, I think, was Ricardo. Ricardo already answered to this, but I think that's the quite common regarding the technology stack to move to OutSystems technology, and regarding the hiring steps, which is so important too. So how it works regarding the remote locations and stuff like that, how it works, and the process.
So I guess that's many questions in one. Let me try to answer about the hiring process. So the hiring process at OutSystems has about 3 to 4 steps, depending a bit on the role. So usually there's always a step with the hiring manager, with the team. There's always a practical exercise that is different depending on the area that you are interviewing for. So a project manager doesn't have the same exercise as someone who is a software engineer, and also a step with someone from the talent acquisition team. And so these steps should be the talent acquisition team, the hiring manager, the exercise, and then in some teams you also meet the director of the team, or for higher positions the VP of the area. So you are looking at 3 to 4 different recruitment steps or interviews in total. The other part of the question, I believe it was about locations, right? Yes.
Yes.
So some of our jobs are for specific locations, and this is a decision that has to do usually with trying to keep that team within the same time zone. And so when that happens, it is stated on the job ad that we are looking for people in a specific location. Other jobs can be open to people that will be working remotely in different locations. So that needs to be seen case by case. And I think there was a third part to the question that I don't remember. If you could help.
No, I think everything
It was
it's
that.
done.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's the main questions regarding the hiring process and the location. So I think we are done for today. I don't know if you have something to say more. Feel free. Okay, was a pleasure again. I hope you see you again soon, and everybody. Okay, so I don't know if you want to share some knowledge more. Feel free.
Yeah, I'll probably share something just to clear clear things out. We are talking about OutSystems developers and the process of developing with the OutSystems language. And there's another part of the equation, which is the process of developing the OutSystems language and the OutSystems product. So it's not so much of people that are used to program with OutSystems. It's people that are used to program with C#, with React Native, with React, with JavaScript. So those we kind of produce a product that abstracts developers from all those things, but on the inside, we really need people that know those kind of languages that really can develop products using high code languages such as the ones that I referred to. So it's not something that we are only looking for people that use OutSystems. And as Carlos said, yeah, lots of people that we onboard that aren't really from this area, which is even more of an opportunity for us to get feedback from people that aren't really acquainted with development, and take that chance to improve our product and make it easier for people that aren't really from the IT background. So it's all those kind of profiles that fit in different areas of the OutSystem company that we are looking for.
Cool.
Perfect. Pedro and Melissa, want to add something more?
No, I think we're good. I just want to thanks everyone that joined us, and thank you, Andrea, as well for helping facilitate this. I think it was really good, and feel free to check the link to the open positions that you have here under the screen, and we also shared our career site on the chat where you find some more additional jobs.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Pedro, you want to share more stuff?
No, I don't think so. I think